Hello, everyone, and welcome to CCBC Essex, where today we have a matchup between the CCBC Essex Lady Knights and the CCBC Catonsville Lady Cardinals. Today should be a good one. I'm Byron Reed, and I'll be providing commentary to you all this evening for today's game. We'll take it down to the field here in a few minutes to get started with the national anthem and the starters, who will be right back with Essex Soccer. Welcome back to CCBC.
Here at CCBC Essex, we embody the spirit.
Welcome back to CCBC Essex, everyone. I'm Byron Reed here, providing commentary for you for this evening's game. We're almost set for kickoff here as we have the 7-2 CCBC Essex Lady Knights taking on the 0-6 CCBC Catonsville Lady Cardinals. Essex's last game, they took a loss 5-2 at Monroe College. And Catonsville is also coming off a loss. It was a 3-1 loss against the College of Southern Maryland. Essex enters today's game 3-0 in the conference and 3-1-1 at home. They played very well at home opening up the season, and hopefully they can get this home crowd to give them support to earn that fourth win of the season at home. They're also lighting it up in goals, scoring 43 goals in the season, averaging 4.3 goals per game, whereas Catonsville, they've only scored 1 goal this entire season. You got to score in order to win games, and right now, Catonsville's not doing either of those things. They are 0-5 in the conference and 0-5 in away games. Hopefully today they can turn it around here and get a much-needed W to jumpstart their season here, as they've struggled here in the early going. Some players to look out for on Essex. You have Erin Moran. She's a freshman. She leads the team in goals with 19 on the season so far. And Francesca Gray in goal. She has 52 saves in the season. And so far she's 3-0 and she has 2 shutouts. So look for both of those players for Essex to be key cogs in the machine to help them win this game today. As far as Catonsville goes, we have Yuli Argueta. She's the only one who scored a goal so far for Catonsville this season, looking to get, and she's a defensive man too. So when your defensive man can score goals, that's always a big help for your offense. We are almost set here to get underway. Waiting on the refs to give the signal and get the time clock all situated and everything. We would also like to thank Morris Estate Elementary for coming out today in support of the Essex Lady Knights. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this evening's game. And right after this one, there will be men's action as the Knights of Essex will take on the Cardinals of Catonsville, and we are underway here. Ball's knocked around out there as Catonsville has possession of it now. Dribbling it out. Ball's taken away. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for Essex. Owens back to midfield. Picked around as we're getting closer. Essex back in possession of it after a turnover. Risky pass there. It's corralled. Working it up the pitch. Working it back, creating space. Long pass across. Working it into the box, into the corner area. It's kicked into the box as the goalkeeper, Jeppy, corrals it. like it's going to be goal kick here as Jeffy sends it away. High kick. Kick back to midfield. Nice run here. She takes all the way up the pitch. Pass into the box, but couldn't find a teammate as Jeffy's going to grab it again here and reset. Ball's kicked away here. Send back to what the defensemen's. Knows Erda with the ball now. Plays wide here, is knocked away. And it's going to be out of bounds. Essex ball now. Throw in here. Sent down back to the mid part of the field here. Essex back in possession of it. Long pass, but it's intercepted, and Essex gets it right back with a nice tackle there. Ball's being kicked around. Essex corrals it, but Catonsville's going to get it back, and that's Mumbai with the ball. Mumbai lost possession of it. Back here to Essex. Taking it wide down the far side of the field. Makes a move and gets by the defender. Into the corner, into the box, but Catonsville defender is there to knock it away and clear it out. Far side of the field in the box again. Looking for something, sees nothing. Back into the center, but no one's there. Shots on, it's going to miss wide left here. Sent out for a goal kick here. Crowd by Essex back into the defensive zone as the pass is worked back, trying to set up things here for the offense. Working it wide here again is Essex as it goes down into the corner, and it's going to go out of bounds again. So now we have Catonsville back in possession of the ball. So far, we've seen both teams kicking it around, still trying to feel each other out. Not a whole lot's going on in terms of offense, but they're both doing what they can early on to try and figure each other out, see what the tendencies are, and all of that stuff as the ball gets sent downfield. Nice challenge there, but unfortunately slippery and got by. Then to the far right side of the field. Possession of it is Essex now. Working it back to the midfield stripe. Setting things up. Long pass, a bit of keep away here from Catonsville. Nice tackle there as the ball is back in possession of it for Essex. That is Barledge in the corners. Passes back. Essex gets possession of it again. Kick down, looked like trying to find a teammate there, but there was no one there. Okay. Across the field, trying to find something here. Maybe the defender missed, but unfortunately a Catonsville defender is there. Catonsville's back in possession of the ball. Slowly working their way up. That's Mumbai in possession of it here. Catonsville now, a good tackle there. Essex going to try to get the ball back, but it's sent back down. Catonsville now in possession of it. Catonsville with numbers. Crosses in, misses her teammate. It's going to squeak down into the corner. Not out of bounds yet, but it goes out of bounds there. And the ref signal is going to be Catonsville ball. Throw in was no good there. That was looked to be Kilmartin making the defensive play there, getting in the way and knocking the ball out of bounds. Catonsville on the throw in. We've got Tyler Merritt throwing it in here. Throws into Mumbai. Ball's knocked up in the air. Essex trying to get possession of it, but Catonsville still have possession. Shots on. It's going to go over the goalpost. No good. Good first shot there. You got to try and attempt something here early on. As that looked to be Argueta. Now we've got Francesca Gray sending the ball away here on the goal kick. Catonsville in possession of it here. Be a shot attempt missed wide there. Gray is going to corral it. You can hear the Mars Estate Elementary School kicking in jubilation for the Essex Knights as the goal kick was sent down all the way into Cardinal territory. Trying to fight for it here as the ball goes down back into midfield. Sent way downfield. The ref can get there. She'll still be on sides. Shots on off the goalkeeper. Golazo! Shot on goal off the goalkeeper, and it goes in. That's the first goal of the game for the Essex Knights as they'll take the early 1-0 lead here. We will get the goal scorer time and all that information to you here shortly. Right now, though, what's more important is that Essex has the 1-goal lead. And I said earlier in the start to this game that Essex likes to score goals. They average 4.3 per game. So let's see if they can keep lighting it up. Sent back down into the far right corner.
Essex goal scored by number 21, Erin Moran.
Erin Moran, there she is. First shot, first goal. That makes 20 goals for her on the season.
Alexis Corbett-Fenical.
The assist was given to number 13, Alexis Corbett-Fenical. So Erin Moran, the freshman, getting things started here for Essex as she opens the floodgates with the first goal of the game. Essex continues to work that right side of the pitch. Back into two defenders, though. Out of bounds, going to be Essex ball here. On the throw. Worked back out. Long shot from a distance there. It's going to be no good. We have a substitution here coming in for Catonsville. And Catonsville is going to have possession after, or on the goal kick here, after the long shot that went out of bounds. Header there, Catonsville back in possession of it. Essex defenders, Essex doing a really good job of swarming to the ball on offense and taking it now. Back into Catonsville territory in the box. Shot on. Off a defender, and Jeppy's going to make the save. It's a pretty easy save as it gets knocked off. A Catonsville defender. Almost made Gray have to do no work for that as it's sent back down. Essex back in possession of it here. He got around down there. It's Mamba in possession of it. Ball goes out of bounds after a nice defensive play there by Katie Kilmartin, knocking it away. Now on the throw in here is going to be Tyler Merritt. Merritt throws it into Mamba. Intercepted though. Nice dribbling here, working it around. Going out to that far right corner. Looking it back inside, looking for someone, but no one's there. Knocked away, kicked out of bounds. Essex is going to retain possession of it. One here and then Essex back in possession of it here after the throw. Shots on goal, and it's going to just miss that left side of the net. Almost found the home back there. The Kingswood defender got in the way of it and knocked it off course just enough for it to go out of bounds. We saw Aaron Moran open the scoring here for Essex. And now the Knights back in possession of it. Crafty dribbling, looking to find somebody. They want to work it back, and she does. Long high pass back into the Catonsville defenders. Working the corner. Pass inside. Right to Jeppy, though, as she makes a save. Didn't really have an angle there for the shot. I'm going to try and find a better angle next time, but the goal kick there was knocked away, but like someone was offsides there. Looks like Mamba got a little bit jumpy. Play is going to resume here after the free kick from Essex. Keeping the ball moving is always key. Long pass down to the far right side. Smartly knocks it out of bounds. There's Catonsville. And we're going to have a substitution this time for the Lady Knights. That's Lindsay Webb checking in here for Essex. All kicked around and back to Essex here. Lindsay possession of it. Back to Kilmartin. Women on alone here. No one's stopping her, but finally a Catonsville defender comes on and knocks it away, sends it down the pitch. Long kick down the field. No one's going to get there. It's going to be out of bounds. Essex going to retain possession on the throw in here. Working it down into that right corner again is Essex. Fortunately goes out of bounds. But Essex is going to retain possession here. Is going to get a throw in. No one's in the corner. Let's see if they can get a shot. It's blocked and it's going to go out of bounds.
Corner kick, Essex.
Going to be a corner here from Essex.
We'll take the kick.
Mackenzie Smythe's going to take the corner kick and see if they can get another goal here. Kicks away from Smythe. Unfortunately, to no avail. It looked like it was, well, they had a good chance there. Unfortunately for them, Jeppy was in prime position to make the save. Ball sent away, and after a bit of trying to play it off the bounce, Webb here in possession of it. And a lot of dribbling, shot on. It's going to miss wide. Miss wide right. It's a good opportunity, though. Got to take those shots so you can get a chance. And it's going to be a goal kick here. Sent up the air, and unfortunately, Catonsville having a hard time retaining possession of the ball when they do get it. Essex is having their way with the ball in the offensive zone of Catonsville here early on. It's resulted in a lot of time spent down there, and a big reason as to why they have the early 1-goal lead. Jeppy is going to come in and grab that one before anything can happen. And she's going to send it away here. But again, Essex is doing a good job of getting to those balls in the air. Pass was a little long, and it's cleared away by a Catonsville defender. Sent all the way back to Gray in goal. And Essex is going to start working it back up the field. Long pass down back into midfield. Catonsville now in possession of it. Let's see if they can make something happen here. Unfortunately, now we're going to get a whistle and a stoppage of play. And it's going to be a free kick for Essex. Catonsville looked like they had something there, but unfortunately just couldn't get anything going on that possession. Corbett with the shot.
I can tell by the hair. Appreciate it.
And I'm also not doing a good job of dribbling here. Kicked it back out and tried to reset things. Back into the middle. Nothing doing there. Ball almost got away from Kilmartin there. Lucky she was able to corral it after the first bounce. That was good. Oh, thanks. Knocked away here. Catonsville in possession of it. Trying to find a teammate, but no one's there. There's a pesky defense, though. You have a Catonsville player down. Trainers are coming out to take a look and see what all is going on. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back as soon as play resumes. Essex is in the lead 1-0 here early in the first half. Getting set to resume play after the injury here. We come back. Essex has the 1-goal lead on an Aaron Moran goal. Almost a bit of a scare there as Gray collides the teammate, and now both ladies are down after that collision. We'll be getting back into the spring of things there. Gray sends it back down the field. Bad luck there as it's off the back of Mombe. And Essex back in possession of it, but right back to Catonsville though. As the offense plays defense there and knock the ball away. Both teams trying to crowd possession for it. Catonsville gets it, but the pass is blocked. It's sent long down the field. Knocked out of bounds there by a Catonsville defender. That's Stanball throwing it in to Mia Mangione. Into the center of the pitch here. Down back into that right corner. Back to the middle. Almost had a shot there. Almost had a shot on goal, but unfortunately not, as Catonsville was going to send it back down. But again, Essex back in control of the ball. But it's going to go off her foot and out of bounds, unfortunately. The throw found no one, and it's going to go down into the Essex side of the field, not out of bounds. Substitution here for Essex. Plays resumed on the throw. Just going to have another one as that throw went out of bounds. Floated the pass over and found a teammate. Very nice throw. Shot off from distance is blocked. Trying to get possession of it. Essex now back in control. Good defense there. It's knocked away. Long pass down. Headed away. Right to Mary as she knocks it out of bounds. Throw in from the close side of the field here. Ball's knocked around here and off a Catonsville defender. It's like we're getting a free kick here for Essex. It's definitely a good spot here to try and take another shot at goal. If you can get it high enough and try and find one of your teammates to head it into the back of the net. We'll see what happens here. So free kick is away. And there it is. The header into the back of the net. That's the second goal of the game for Essex. They now take a 2-0 lead. Still in the first half.
Essex goal scored by number 21, Aaron Moran.
That's Moran's second goal of the game here. Her 21st on the season. Two goals scored now for the Knights, both by Aaron Moran. the freshman forward. Such her 21st on the season, and now Essex has a 2-0 lead. But Catonsville here's trying to get something going. Long shot, there's corralled by Gray. And she's going to send it back down the field here. Catonsville back in possession of it. It's Tiana Hapsis now sending it down the field. Unfortunately, it was McGarvey who was trying to get the first touch and couldn't get a good one. And she couldn't back it off of the Catonsville defender there. And it made a play on the ball, knocked it out of bounds. So now to Essex now in possession of it. Defender run all the way down the field there. Catonsville's back in possession of it. Little trip there, but no call. We're to the close side of the field. Martin working it back to the right side of the field here. Made a move and got by the defender, but tried to pass and it was blocked. Still gonna be Knights ball. On the throw here, long throw. Once again in the middle. Good spot there, finding a teammate. Shots on. But this time Jeppy is able to make the save. As that was another nice shot there. This time by McGarvey. Got in there and tried to get a shot on. We've got Catonsville now with, they have possession of it, but it's right back to Essex, and Essex now can't maintain. Catonsville sends it long, and it's going to be out of bounds. There's also this thing. Trying to find McGarvey there, but fortunately, it's right back to McGarvey here. Working it inside. Shots on, off the keeper. But this one looks like it's going to find the back of the net as well. Even after it went off of Jeppy, a teammate was there to pick her up and get the shot to go in the back of the net. So that's Mangione now with the goals. Now Essex has a 3-0 lead. And we're still in the first half, folks. 3-0 here. Essex Knights. 2 goals. 2 by Moran, 1 by Mangione. And Essex is looking sharp here to start the game. Mombay now in possession. Trying to find a teammate, but no one's there. McGarvey tried to corral it, but unfortunately couldn't get to it in time. It's going to be Catonsville ball as it goes out of bounds. Merritt with the throw in here. Sent down to McGarvey. McGarvey's going to use his speed and get by some defenders. Right. McGarvey in possession. Shot's going to be wide and high. Wide and high. And I'm actually going to kick it over to my broadcast partner, Aaron Thomas. Aaron, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing just fine and glad to finally be here. Wish I could have got here a little earlier. Traffic was killer out there, so looks like I missed a pretty exciting first half, though. 3-0 Knights, it looks like.
3-0 Knights indeed. Moran scored the first 2 goals, and Mangione scored the third. So it's looking good so far for Essex.
I gotta say that's no surprise. Aaron Moran been the offensive force for the Knights all season long. She's been the force that drives the train offensively for this Knights team. So no surprise she got 2 early goals. Mia Mangione, that is one that is a little bit more surprising. A freshman that plays mainly on the midfield side. So getting some offensive reps in the early part of this game is exciting, and maybe some development for this to look out for this Knights team as the season moves on.
Yeah, because they're a very young team, Aaron. They've got 12 freshmen, I counted, on the roster.
Yeah, well, at this level, you kind of have to get used to that. If you're Coach Holland, every year you're going to have a considerable amount of turnover and a considerable amount of incoming freshmen every year. But speaking of sophomores, there's one of those sophomores, Tiana Hapsis, trying to make something happen there in the middle of the field. But the freshman-heavy team, like you said, for the Knights, hasn't come back to hurt them in the early part of the season so far, as they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah, and in my open, I stated that, Essex lights it up in the scoreboard. They have 43 goals in the season, averaging 4.3 a game, and they're doing just that here early in the game.
Yeah, they're definitely an offensive-minded team, which is kind of a surprise. Most of the soccer teams here at CCBC Essex, in their past, they're built fundamentally on their defense, but this Knights women's team, much more of an offensive team. That's not to say they don't have very good defenders, but like you said, the offensive firepower fully on display in the early part of this season for the Knights. That is for sure.
And I'm a firm believer, and if you score more goals, the other team, you win games. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, last time I checked, that is the name of the game, and right now the Knights find themselves in firm control of this one as we're approaching the 10-minute mark, and here's an offensive opportunity for the Cardinals to see if they can get something going. You'd feel a lot better going into halftime down 3-1 as opposed to 3-0.
Oh, no doubt. It does wonders for your momentum and confidence, especially.
Yeah, this Knights team has given up leads in the past. Remember the opening game of the year, they had a 1-0 lead that they ended up giving away. Now, a 1-0 lead is a lot different than a 3-0 lead, granted, but they do have a past of letting teams get back into games. Here's Moran with the shot, perfectly on net. Beautiful shot. And the pass was just as pretty as well. There was Taylor Stombo set up the pass over to Aaron Moran, middle of the box. Moran buried that in there, and a first half hat trick for Moran.
I was just going to say, that's the hat trick for Aaron Moran. It's very, very impressive. 3 goals in the first half. I don't think you can beat that.
Well, actually, she did at one point in this season when she scored 6 or 7 goals in a single game. So, you give her,
you're telling me.
Yeah, you give her a task, she can get it done. That's for sure. That Knights goal was scored by number 21, Aaron Moran. So the Cardinals, we were saying a minute ago, would feel a lot better going into halftime down 3-1 as opposed to 3-0. Well, now they definitely can't be feeling about going into the halftime period down 4-0 right now.
No, definitely not. You've got to try and find something. Something's got to give here in the first half if you're Catonsville.
Rivalry game for sure here. Anytime the CCBC campuses can get together, it's always a very good contest. There's a long shot there, just wide of the net.
It's always a pleasure to see the 2 CCBC teams square off, Catonsville and Essex. Emotions are always a little higher. Like you said, it's a big rivalry game. And Catonsville's looking for their first win of the season. What better way to get it than knock off a rival?
Yeah, for sure. That would make that first victory of the year that much sweeter. And right now, it's not looking like things are going to plan for the Catonsville Cardinals. Hopefully, their head coach has a Phil Jackson-esque halftime speech in store, because they're certainly going to need it right now. Things aren't looking very pretty. There's Tiana Apsis on that far sideline. Good defensive play there by the Cardinals. Certainly cannot allow the Knights to continue to get this offensive momentum rolling down their hill, especially I'm sure with just over 10 minutes left in this first half, I'm sure they can almost taste the halftime period.
Yeah, and knowing the offensive firepower that this Knights team has exhibited so far in the game, their defense is going to have to tighten up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that is for sure. Going to have to turn things around defensively, but also, I've only been here for a couple minutes, but they're going to have to turn things around offensively as well. As like you said, you made the brilliant point of it is the team who scores the most goals of the team that wins, and right now, not much offensive momentum to speak of for the Cardinals.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to speak of for Catonsville before you got here. They had some opportunities, but they were very few and far between, and there wasn't a whole lot. It was mostly Essex dominating in Catonsville's side of the field and in their zone for the majority of this first half.
Yeah, well, here's an opportunity here now. Under 10 minutes to play in the first half. Here's an opportunity about give or take 11, 12 yards behind the midfield line. Free kick opportunity after the handball called on Mia Mangione. Good free kick. I think it was an accidental good free kick, as it kind of seemed to just bounce past the Knights players. None of them, saw it coming. And somehow they're able to recover and get back into position.
Yeah, very good recovery there. Like you said, despite the almost accidental good free kick.
Didn't get much mustard or air up on that free kick, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good at anything. There, the Cardinals almost got lucky, and the luck almost led to a goal.
And Essex has done that a lot, though, especially with throw-ins. They've done a nice job of floating those throw-ins over Cardinals defenders and finding the pocket of a teammate.
Yeah, I always say, especially at this level, I think really at any level, but really particularly at this level with the experience and the athletes, it's so important to be able to control the ball after the restart, because one quick transition and a goal could switch all the momentum. And as you know, in any sport, at any level, momentum really always the key.
Momentum is big indeed, and right now Essex has all of it, being up 4-0 and still in the first half.
And still knocking on the door of opportunity here as the throw-in was awarded to the Knights. There's a good heel flick back to Mangione from Moran. Mangione's going to take on the first defender, gets past that one, now working on the second, maybe a third, and 3 was the magic number for the Cardinals, as that third defender was the one who forced Mangione to pass it back to her defense. There's Passanelli with the shot. Thought it was going to be a little wide, but it's close enough to make the goalkeeper work for it. Cardinals there making the save.
Yeah, despite the 4 goals, Jeppy's done a good job in net when her defense has broken down. She's done a good job despite the 4 goals. So
it was one of those games where the Cardinals would be in a lot worse shape if it wasn't for Jeppy in between the pipes. Sometimes you need a hero, and right now it seems that Jeppy is that one for the Cardinals, keeping them somewhat in this game. Here's Smythe down the corner. She's the free kick or the corner kick specialist. She's got some power behind that cross, and very good cross found ahead of Erin Moran. She just was a little too far out from the line to be able to do anything with the head ball.
Yeah, a little too far, but still, it's always a good thought, especially when you have those 3 goals that she has. You may as well keep shooting. You're hot.
Yeah, sometimes even when you can't get a goal or a shot on goal from a cross or a corner kick, sometimes it really does its job, because it gets the defense out of position and makes them work a little bit harder. And there was a really good save there by Jeppy, down to the knees, getting the body in front of that one. Fans are in full blast here at the Coliseum this afternoon. You got the Knight out and about communicating with the fans here at the Coliseum. It's always a great atmosphere here. Encourage any fans, if they haven't come out to a game here, CCBC Essex, you should. Always family-friendly atmosphere and always great soccer.
And the kids you hear cheering, Aaron, those are from Mars Estates Elementary School. They came from Essex to support the Knights today.
Oh, wow. Well, we certainly appreciate the extra support. And there, speaking of support, that extra support almost led to a goal there from the Knights. Long way away from the net, but still somehow able to get that one pretty close to the net, or pretty close to goal scoring range. I believe that was Alexis Corbett-Fennicle, but here's a corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is Mackenzie Smythe. Smythe, hands up, ball's in the air. Not a very good corner.
The first corner that Essex had, they scored a goal on off the head of Mangione. So unfortunately for Essex, they could not get the goal this time. But 1 for 2 on corners isn't bad.
Yeah, that's definitely a good number. That'll keep you in the majors if you were playing baseball. And the Knights have a history of being able to score off the corner. A game earlier this season, they had 2 goals off of corner kicks. So they are a team that is experienced in scoring off the corner. Here comes Smythe. Shot with the right foot, deflected off of the leg of one of the Cardinals players. Number 21, Brittany Johnson. Very good play by Mackenzie Smythe. Forcing the issue there and almost getting herself into goal scoring range.
I was waiting on her to pass it over. She had a teammate in the middle there looking to find her, but I thought, unfortunately, didn't find it.
Good defensive play there by the Cardinals. The Knights still end up finally getting a shot off, but it was a better shot opportunity before that on the cross that was stopped by the Cardinals before it ever really got going. They're going to need that good defense here in the final 4 minutes of this first half and in the next 45 of the second half. They want to keep the comeback hopes alive. Here's a long-distance shot there. It was very close from Lindsay Webb. Webb, one of the players in the last couple of weeks, has really, really impressed me. Doesn't have many goals to her name, but she definitely has lots of goal-scoring opportunities to her name. In the last game, she had 4 or 5 really close shots on goal that just didn't find the net.
And, even if they're not finding the net, the fact that you're getting those shots and they're getting close, I think is also important for your confidence because you know that you can do this.
Oh, for sure. That that confidence comes into the next game. Just because you didn't get the ball to go into the back of the net doesn't mean that it wasn't a really good goal-scoring opportunity. Sometimes just making that keeper work and watching that keeper have to make the difficult save just helps your confidence out, like you said. And let's see if that boost in confidence leads to a goal here this afternoon for Webb. Or let's see if she just continues to knock on the door. Here's the play into Passanelli in the middle. She's got space and time. She's thinking about shot here. And maybe she should have been thinking pass.
I think it was just an unlucky situation there as they got knocked off a Catonsville defender, looked like to me.
Now just under 3 minutes left to play here in the first half. The score remains 4-0 in favor of the Knights. Some first half analysis for these two teams. I mean, you've been the one here the whole time.
Well, I think that Catonsville needs to find some way to get some sort of offense going. They haven't done a good job at all of maintaining possession of the ball when they've had it. As for Essex, on the other hand, though, everything's been going their way so far. I expect it to continue.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Holland has to be happy with his team's first half output, and once it was fully expecting to see more from his team in the second half. And there's Lindsay Webb, not thinking shot that time, thinking pass, and Moran was just a little bit too far out in front of it. Missed opportunity, but one they can certainly afford to miss, up 4-0. Good play from the backside. There's Alexis Corbett-Fennicle with the cross, but wide and out of bounds. This will be a goal kick for the Cardinals. Here will be a goal kick here for the Cardinals. Clock continues to run, which is something I'm sure they're not upset about at all.
No, I think at this point you want to get to halftime, catch your breath, readjust, and come up with the game plan to attack this night's defense in the second half.
Interesting game plan from the Cardinals right there, working the ball through the middle of the field. You usually want to tell your players to work that ball up one of the sidelines, near or far. That time they worked it right through the middle and end up getting it stolen as soon as they passed the midfield line. Missed opportunity for the Cardinals. Let's see if it comes back to hurt them, as the Knights have the ball. Very good scoring range. Doesn't hurt them that time, as Mangione was coming in for the one-touch shot, but she just wasn't able to get a foot on it. But the Knights still have possession in goal-scoring range with 30 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, Essex done a good job of working both sides of the field, and even including the middle. So, like I said, they've done everything right here in the first half.
Webb there with some fancy footwork, getting around a couple players. Got herself into a position, though, where the only option she had was to pass it off. She did, and then they couldn't do anything with it after that. And that'll probably be the final play of the first half, as you hear the countdown from the kids who are in attendance here this afternoon. Clock has hit triple zeros on this first half, so that'll be all she wrote for the first 45. The score is 4-0 at the end of this one. What's in store for the second 45?
Well, I'm looking to see if Catonsville can come out and try to start attacking and getting aggressive on offense. I think Essex might want to start thinking about parking the bus here and trying to just get out of here with the W. You've got 4 goals. You don't want to be too over aggressive and get yourself into opportunities for easy counterattacks. So if they can avoid those sorts of mistakes, I think they'll be just fine for the second half play.
All right, let's see what it is. We'll take this short break. We'll be back right after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here and ready to play the final 45 minutes, or what we fully expect to be the final 45 minutes. It would take a little bit of a minor miracle to have us play some extra soccer because the Cardinals of Catonsville come into this second half down 4-0. That's right.
Yep, 4-0, not a good start if you're Catonsville, but a very, very good one if you are Essex. Dare I say sensational start.
Oh, yes, very much so. Exactly how Coach Holland drew it up, I'm sure. He's very much a tempo coach. He likes to keep the offensive momentum going. He likes to keep the pedal to the metal, so to speak. And in the first half, they did very much that and some.
Yeah, got to keep your foot on the gas, especially early in the game. Here in the second half, I'm expecting Essex to maybe relax a little bit, but not too much to where they don't give up on scoring goals.
Yeah. I would definitely imagine we'll see a little bit more of a defensive-minded approach here for the Knights in this second half, but I don't think they'll be letting up on the offensive approach whatsoever. I think they'll still be looking for goals. Those big goal total games really come into effect late in the late stages of the year. If you have a tie with another team in the standings, it goes to the goal differential. So the more goals you can score, the better for your team in the long run. Opportunity at goal scoring materialized there for the Knights. Still may, as the ball's still in their offensive zone. And they'll have possession of it, or will they? Was Pasanelli the last one to play that out of bounds? Actually, that was not Pasanelli. That was Jordan Barledge. And she was not the last one to play it out of bounds. Still a throw in and an offensive opportunity here for the Knights.
Something to happen here is it's really their first big one of the second half.
Alexis Corbett-Fennicle, a defensive player who likes to take charge in the offensive zone as well. She is always a player you have to watch out for to make runs from the back. There she made a run, but it was quickly stopped. And an out-of-bounds play, last touch by the Knights here. The Cardinals going to have to control the ball on the restart here for the Cardinals if they want to have a hope of blazing the comeback trail here in the second half.
And as you said, controlling the ball off of those restarts is very important. And in the first half, Catonsville didn't do a good job of doing that at all. So you would expect to see them try to take better care of the ball, find your teammates when they're open off of throw-ins and things of that nature.
Yeah, what you do on the restart's always so important. Here's the play by the Cardinals after the throw-in. Goes past everybody, and that's going to safely roll into the defensive zone of the Knights as Long plays it back to Gray. And Gray, I'm sure she's just excited to get a foot on that ball. She's had a pretty boring afternoon back there.
Yeah, she hasn't had to do a whole lot of work, which for some might be a good thing. You know, you come out to the field, don't break a sweat.
Sure, for her fans and her players, her teammates, and her coaching staff, I'm sure they're very happy with an afternoon of little work for her, that's for sure. And here's Lindsay Webb, opportunity at goal scoring. Good defensive recovery there by the Cardinals, but they're not out of the woodwork just yet. Mangione, gotta appreciate the spunk, I guess is the best way to put it. She's always determined to go through the entire team, and she has the confidence that she can do that.
Yeah,
All right, here's a free kick right outside of the box. Good head ball there by the Cardinals. Another good head by the Knights. But a save by Jeppy. Whew, back and forth there. Doesn't get much closer than that.
No, doesn't get much closer than that, my friend. Almost had their fifth goal of the game, though, did Essex.
Fifth goal almost came 5 minutes into the second half, as we have almost played a full 5 minutes here in the second 45. Score still remains at 4-0. Let's see what they have here in store. Offensive opportunity. Trying to play it back to Pasanelli. Won't find Pasanelli. Instead, it's intercepted by the Cardinals, but immediately intercepted right back by the Knights. Offensive surge continues here. Mangione thought she was going to look for the one-touch long shot. Surprised she didn't go for it. Had a lot of space in front of her. Very good opportunity at goal scoring there. Lindsay Webb, that time, making her presence felt in the box with the head. And it was just a little close. Just a little closer, and it would have been a goal.
Yeah, definitely would have been a goal had it found a little bit of room there. Unfortunately for Essex, and probably fortunately for Catonsville, it didn't.
Fortunately for Catonsville, it went right towards the goalkeeper. That free kick went right towards Mangione, and now the Knights in possession once again. They've controlled the time of possession for this entire game, definitely for this entire second half, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did in the first half as well. They did a really good job of controlling the ball and keeping it on Catonsville's side of the field, not letting them have possession of the ball too long when they did have it.
Offensive momentum here starting to build for the Knights. Alexis Corbett-Fenical, I think she was trying to play that over to Smythe, and I think she thought Smythe was going to go for it on that near sideline. Just the communication breakdown between those two players in there. Some physical play there from Jeppy, the goalkeeper for the Cardinals, puts Moran on her backside, and now is a corner kick for the Knights.
Yeah, Jeppy came way out of the box to try to came out of way out of her goal box to try to deal with that, which was
corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 11, Mackenzie Smythe.
Which was a good thing for them, but it probably could have been bad had someone been in position to counter that.
It's always a dangerous move when you're coming off of your line like that as a keeper, but down 4-0, what do you have to lose really in that situation?
Yeah, you gotta do anything you can to try to keep the goals from coming at this point.
Especially a play like that from a goalkeeper, you see it so many times. That could be a momentum switching play. A goalkeeper comes off the line and gets a good fist on it, and then puts it over the head of everybody, and then it gets to the offensive zone, and it's kind of a race to who can get to the ball first in that situation.
Yeah,
so, a risky play that works out more times than not.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Catonsville needs at this point. They need something like that, some big momentum play that will get them going and get them to hopefully get the ball in Essex zone and try to keep it there for a little bit.
Lindsay Webb laying the truck stick down there. She was not to be denied. Good closeout defense there by the Cardinals, but she could not be taken off the ball there. Webb, very strong player. Now play into the box. Webb there, and so close. Just on the other side of the net. Those are always confusing. You see a play like that, and you see the ball on the other side of the net. It makes you think that it's on the inside of the net, and you always get a couple of fans cheering for that one, thinking it's a goal.
Yeah, I got a little hyped myself. I was ready to shove the fifth goal of the game there, but
yeah, I'm sure Lindsay Webb wishes that it was that case. And the play like that, that's the one you have to always watch out for the player, because if it's a goal, they're celebrating.
It's very, very true.
Here's the play on the sideline. That's Barledge trying to play it to somebody. I'm not sure who. Maybe it was just a mistouch and ends up being intercepted, but then immediately intercepted back by the Knights. The Cardinals not able to string together offensive possessions with any kind of urgency or really anything at all.
Yeah, it's not a good time for Catonsville right now. They're struggling to maintain possession of the ball. The defense is doing okay, but Essex is still dominating in every facet of the game right now.
The defense definitely has pulled up its bootstraps for the Cardinals here this second half, not allowing the Knights to get any goals. But that being said, that will change a lot sooner than later if they're not able to get a goal here in the second half, because if you're spending this much time on your back heels after spending that much time in the first half on your back heels, tired legs are going to take in effect in this game at some point.
Right, and it's not like Essex hasn't had their chances to score here in the second half either. We just saw one a few minutes ago, so it's all about trying to, like you said, keep your foot on the gas, but try to show some sort of compassion for the other team, I guess.
Yeah, and another big sign here for these two teams is you look at the size of the benches. The Knights have a couple players there on the sideline they can go to in the time of need. The Cardinals only one sub on that bench, so that's going to play an effect here as we have now officially played 10 minutes in the second half, and another corner for the Knights. Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 21, Aaron Moran. So Smythe, usually the corner kick specialist for the Knights. Let's see what Moran has here. I think she called off Smythe. She wanted to be the one to take this. Moran, not a very good corner, but possession will remain with the Knights as the Cardinals didn't have a very good clear attempt.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. You've got to clear the ball out far enough to where one of your guys can get to it and give your offense a chance.
The struggles continue here for the Cardinals. The wheels have certainly started to fall off the bus here, and it's going to start speeding down the highway any minute now. There's Mangione trying to play it into the box, and another cross that finds the end line, but last touch by the Cardinals, so another corner kick for the Knights. Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 11, Mackenzie Smythe. Smythe, a great corner there, found Moran, but great recovery defense there once again by the Cardinals.
Yep, and that's what they're supposed to do. Corral and press the ball, try and take it away.
It's so hard to score off those corners sometimes, especially when it's not on a head ball. You have so many bodies congested there. The ball finds the ground, and it's really hard for somebody to put a leg on that one. Kilmartin here taking the corner. Very good corner. Sadly for her and her teammates, it was only able to find the head of a Cardinals player, and that Cardinals player is turning the Jets on and getting this ball into the offensive zone, deepest they've had the ball in their offensive zone this second half, I believe. Long shot for the Cardinals. Gray, good judgment by her, realizing that was nowhere near being a goal.
Yeah, good decision there by Gray, just letting it go out of bounds. Had she went to go get it, and it wasn't as far as she thought it was, that could have been bad news for the Knights.
Yeah, find yourself out of position going after a ball you had no business going after. So a good situation avoided there by Gray. A good offensive outburst there by the Cardinals. That could be one of those things that you see the ball get that deep into the offensive zone. Maybe they can get some momentum going after that. But the way things are looking right now, I don't think that's going to be the case. Is Moran knocking on the door of scoring once again for the Knights? Mangione playing it back to Long. Now she plays it into the box, or tried to play it into the box. Good play there by the Cardinals defense coming off of their line to put a stop to that momentum before it really got rolling. Haps this over to Smythe, but it's intercepted. Good play on the line by Ross.
It was a good job there by Ross, getting over and getting in the way, intercepting the pass, and making Essex have to have a throw-in to try to get another opportunity here at goal.
Alexis Corbett-Fennicle going to be taking the throw-in. 31 minutes left here in this second half. And there's an offensive opportunity that was quickly stopped, but just for the moment, as the Knights have another corner kick opportunity. Corner kick for the Knights. Taking the kick is number 11, Mackenzie Smythe. Much better corner that time from Smythe, but it goes over everyone's head, and she didn't have a teammate who was in the right position.
Yeah, they didn't have too many corner attempts to speak of in the first half, but here in the second half, they're doing a good job of getting those attempts. Unfortunately, they haven't made the most of them, but getting them is also important.
You can certainly afford to miss some opportunities when you come into the final 45 up 4-0. So all these missed opportunities on the corner is only going to come back to haunt them if they have a collapse of epic proportion.
That's absolutely correct. And hopefully we don't see any of that. And Essex keeps playing the way they are. They're putting on a show for these fans.
Yeah, now approaching the 25-minute mark of this second half. It would be a Falcons Super Bowl-esque collapse at this point for the Knights, as they really have been in the driver's seat this entire game, and for sure been in the driver's seat this entire second half. We don't keep track of time of possession here in the broadcast booth, but if we did, it would be all in favor of the Knights. Cardinals trying to just clear this ball out of their defensive zone, but the good defensive pressure being applied by the midfielders and forwards of the Knights, and they steal the ball back in their own offensive zone. Turnovers in the defensive area, killer for any team, and the Cardinals have plenty of those to their name here this afternoon. Good save there by Jeppy.
Another long shot attempted there. Good look for sure. You had the space to do it. May as well take a shot.
I think a lot of times with those long shots, it's almost more of a confidence than a skill. If you feel that you have the confidence to be able to put up a shot from that distance, sometimes you can even surprise yourself. And speaking of surprising yourself, the Cardinals almost surprised themselves by giving up a goal there.
Yeah, that would not have been in their favor at all, especially not being down 4-0. That would have just complicated the whole situation right now.
Just out of position there for a minute and almost allowed the 5th goal of the game, but Cardinals are able to hold off the danger just for a minute, and let's see what they got here. I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon for Game 1 of our doubleheader. These two programs' men's teams will be going head-to-head after this one. And also, while we have a minute, I want to thank the Mars Estate Elementary School for being here this afternoon at CCBC Essex, for cheering on the fans and everyone out there on the field. Lindsey Webb, opportunity at goal scoring. I was looking down at that referee to see if the flag was in the air. It wasn't, so that would have been an opportunity at goal if she could have got in front of it.
The pass was maybe a little long, but again, like we said, being up 4-0, you can afford a few of those.
Sure, Lindsey Webb's not happy about it as she wants a goal. She's got an opportunity, left-footed shot, and she will finally get one. Lindsey Webb, the pass from Mia Mangione. Webb, after she received the pass, made one person miss, and then with the left foot, buried the shot into the back of the net. Her first goal of the afternoon, 5-0 now in favor of the Knights.
Yeah, like you said, Aaron, that was a beautiful job there by Webb, avoiding the defender and getting that left foot on the ball, having to find the back of the net. Well done.
Well done indeed. And the body language doctor has officially declared the Cardinals dead here this afternoon, as body language on them not looking very good. That Knights goal was scored by number 22, Lindsey Webb. So Lindsey Webb hearing it from the fans here in attendance, and she wants to get a second goal to her name. Here are the Cardinals, far sideline, working it up, wanting to get around and get into a goal-scoring opportunity. Good defense there by the defensive line of the Knights, forcing the long cross. And they're able to clear that cross momentarily. Ball still bouncing around there in the defensive zone, and that's going to be a corner kick, first of the game for the Cardinals. Let's see if they can get a goal here.
Yeah, they've got a chance here. Let's see what happens. got plenty of time left still in the game. Hopefully, if they do get a goal, it will provide them the confidence they need to go on a little bit of a run.
Corner kick for the Cardinals. Taking the kick is number 8, Yolzila Arqueta. Hands up in the air, balls up in the air, and not a very good corner. No one around that other than white jerseys. Luckily for the Cardinals, some red jerseys were able to swarm around it as the clear attempt was going on. They couldn't control it for long, as here's Lindsay Webb on the breakaway. He's got defenders surrounding her now. She's trying to get around him, gets around one, can't get around the second, but she goes for the shot instead, right outside of the box. Very good shot, deflects off of Jeppy, but she was able to make the save. Good opportunity at goal scoring there for the Knights. We've now officially played 20 minutes here in this second half. Only 1 goal scored in the second half after having 4 goals scored in the first half, but the goose egg still being pitched on the Cardinals here this afternoon. There's a nice step over from Mangione, but doesn't get her any space. Cardinals just struggling to get that ball past the midfield line, just struggling to get any kind of offensive momentum rolling in their favor. Sound like a broken record at this point saying that.
Yeah, any kind of offensive momentum for the Cardinals has been quick, and it hasn't lasted very long. It's been snuffed out pretty quickly by this Knights defense.
Good play there by the Cardinals to control the ball after the throw-in, and here they are. Far sideline. Tried to play it in between the legs after the flick with the heel, and that will go out of bounds. Not a good job of controlling it on the dribble. Throw in for the Knights on the far sideline.
And that's also been a problem for Catonsville today, is the ball control or lack thereof. I mean, it's one thing to have possession of the ball, but you've got to maintain it and do something with it. And Catonsville hasn't done a good job of that all game, unfortunately.
Knights in control after Alexis Corbett-Fenical takes it away. Played up to Mangione. Now over to Passanelli. Back to Mangione. Mangione had it stolen away from her momentarily, but relentless in getting that ball back. The Cardinals just play it out of bounds and let their defense and midfielders regroup and try and get this ball back the old-fashioned way. Play on the throw-in over everybody's head. Alexis Corbett-Fenical with the cross in from the near sideline, goes over everybody's head once again, but into the arms of Emily Jeppy, the goalkeeper for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Jeppy's been the one consistent thing when she's had save opportunities. More times than not, she has done her job and kept them out.
Ball on the far sideline, not controlled by either team. Now into the middle of the field. Passanelli does control it now, and now she plays it over to Jenny McGarvey. McGarvey with the long cross, doesn't find anybody. Does find the back of the... Ooh. A player rolling around, holding their face, and we'll take a break for the timeout as the trainer is being waved out onto the field. We'll keep you posted on the injury. and gentlemen, we are back. The injured player has left the field and under her own power, so hopefully she'll be all right. Play will resume on the field, and the Knights will have possession. For now, at least, as that ball is getting dangerously close to the end line there on the far sideline. Are able to save it from going out of bounds. And here's Passanelli. Over to Mangione, but Mangione's not going to be able to get in front of that one. Luckily, Smythe was able to steal it right back, and game of hot potato finally ends as the goalkeeper for the Cardinals has possession of the ball. Jeppy with the long kick up. Can't be controlled, and now the Knights in possession once again. Swing and a miss there that time, and it's going to allow Erin Moran a chance at goal scoring. She's able to get in front of it, but she can't do anything with it. Ball goes out of bounds, once again awarded to the Cardinals on the goal kick.
And on these goal kicks, I think instead of trying to send it downfield, just at this point, kick it to one of your teammates in front of you and let them all do the work getting it up the field. They continue to kick it downfield, and it continues to go back to the feet of the Essex offense.
Yeah, it's like we said kind of all game long. What you can do after the restart usually separates the winners from the losers at any level of soccer, but especially at this level when it's so competitive and these teams are so closely, evenly matched. What you do after the restart, and the team that can hold together defensively is usually the team that comes away with the win more times than not.
Yeah, that and confidence. Confidence is also key. We've said that a number of times this game, and Essex is riding high, whereas Catonsville is not so much.
And confidence is a key in any athletic endeavor, or really a key in life in general. Look no further than Mr. Kanye West for that one. Now under 20 minutes left to play, and 5-0 is the score, still in favor of the Knights. It's been a bubble beaten.
It has been one of those, and then some, my friends. Not been a very good one. But if you are an Essex fan, it's been a fantastic game to watch. You've seen a lot of goal scoring, which is always nice to see.
Speaking of Essex fans, we have some Essex fans joining us all the way from Mars State Elementary School here cheering on the Knights this afternoon. And we'll have a new group of Mars State Elementary School students coming in to cheer on the Knights men's team after this. So we want to thank them for joining us here at the Coliseum this afternoon. They have gone a long way in making this, I believe, the loudest crowd here that we've had this season.
And when the crowd is loud, I think you play better. You've got more energy. You're just more ready to play. This is the word.
Certainly goes a long way in pumping up the mojo, that's for sure. And mojo for the Cardinals is going to be seriously damaged after this game, especially if things continue the way they're going. And I haven't seen anything that makes me believe that they're going to be able to turn things around. But who knows? They're knocking on the door of opportunity right now. Let's see if they can get something going. Rapidly approaching the final 15 minutes of play here, which if you're a Cardinals fan, coach, or player, it's going to be a long 15 minutes for you.
And you're just looking for something, anything, to get you some sort of momentum. A loose ball, anything that can get you going.
There's a play up on the near sideline. Can't be controlled by either team. Finally, Smythe gets it right in the midfield. Plays it over to Barlage. Barlage is trying to run that down. Does. Very good play by her, but she just couldn't get much mustard on the cross. Ends up being cleared out of the danger zone by the Cardinals, but the clear attempt, surprise, surprise, found a Knights player.
It's been the story of the day here, my friend.
Crossfield pass as Alexis Corbett-Fennicle was calling from it. She got it. And now she's going for the run. Finds Hapsis. Corbett-Fennicle wanted the one-touch pass right back. Hapsis thought otherwise. And she's restarting this possession the way she sees fit. Long pass into the middle. Not sure what she's doing there. Had two white jerseys there, but up by this much, you think you want to just possess the ball instead of forcing the issue, but Didn't come back to hurt him that time. And, oh, so close. Almost split the uprights. Would that count for a field goal? Did it still go through? It did? Okay, it'll be 3 points on Sunday, but nothing but style points here this afternoon. The Ravens sure could have used that 3 points last Sunday.
Could have used a lot more than 3, my friend. But I feel you there.
There's the play on the far sideline. Neither team controlling it right now, but now the Knights finally emerge as the dominant team. Well, they've done that good job of emerging as the dominant team here all afternoon, really.
Yeah, since that first goal from Moran earlier, it's been all Essex.
I don't know if you can see, but the sideline starting to fill up here with men's soccer players for CCBC Catonsville and CCBC Essex, as these two teams' men's programs will be going head-to-head after that, and should be an exciting contest. That is for sure a rivalry game, so always a little extra chippy.
And sometimes chippiness isn't bad.
Well, as a fan of the game, it certainly makes for a more entertaining game, in my opinion. Here, the Cardinals trying to get something going, but that offensive possession for the Cardinals might just be a metaphor for the entire game. You have one Cardinals player in the offensive zone, 3 Knights players in the defensive zone. That door was shut before it ever even had a chance to open.
Yeah, you beat me. You beat me right to it, my friend. That's been the whole story of the second half, really. I think for the Cardinals, one person down there against 3, you can't do a lot. Not even on FIFA on easy difficulty.
Yeah, very few players can get through that, and that make a good point there. It's hard to get through 3 players even in the video games. Though somehow Messi seems to make it look easy. Now under 15 minutes to play here this afternoon, and the nightmare afternoon for the Cardinals continues. It's going to be long bus trip back to CCBC Catonsville. In all reality, that's not a real long trip, but it's going to feel like one after a game like this.
Yeah, it's never good going away or going back home after a loss, but after a big one like this, it just makes things all the more worse, if you ask me.
I can't imagine there'll be much laughing and giggling going on the bus here this afternoon. I remember back from my high school sports days, if anyone was caught laughing on the bus after a loss, it was usually sprints the next afternoon at practice. Good shot there that splits the uprights. Do Justin Tucker proud, but doesn't count for anything here this afternoon. Pierce showing the power on the leg, splits the uprights, but sadly for her, style points don't count.
Yeah, that was a really good shot. It almost found the way to curve that up and hit the top upright of the goalpost and find a way in somehow.
Here's Lindsey Webb trying to play it up to Hapsis. Didn't get a lot of mustard on that pass, but somehow still found Hapsis, and now she's blazing the trail up the offensive zone, going from the midfield to the near sideline, now into the box. Cross to Moran. Moran turns, shoots, somehow was able to score that ball. A very impressive goal for Erin Moran, her 4th of the contest. Man, that was something pretty, wasn't it?
Oh, very pretty. 4 shots and 4 goals. Can't ask for anything more than that.
Pitching a perfect game here this afternoon. Clock stops at 13 minutes, and that's something that the Cardinals don't want to see. They want to see that clock continue to run because they're trying to get out of here. That Knights goal was scored by number 21, Erin Moran. Assisted by number 8, Tiana Hapsis. So Moran, magical season for her continues as She was already well in front of all the goal scorers behind her, not just on her team, but also in the conference as well. And she continues her stranglehold on the goal lead. At this rate, I think she's going to be walking away with the scoring title.
Yeah, she came into the game with 19 goals, and she's already up to 24. 23. Yeah. 23 goals in the season now for Moran. Really, really impressive, especially for a freshman.
Tiana Hapsis with a throw in now, just under 12 minutes left to play. Alexis Corbett-Fenical to play into the box on the throw in. Lindsay Webb got tripped up from behind. Illegal play, but the continuation will actually make it not so. Ref playing the continuation after Webb got tripped up, but as soon as he saw that the Cardinals are going to get possession of that ball, he decided to blow the whistle, and that has gotten us to where we are right now with a a free kick about 5 yards outside of the box. Very good opportunity at goal scoring here. Two players in front of the ball. They move away. Here's the shot. Oh, and a good save there by Jeppy. But that is going to be a re-kick, as I was wondering if that Cardinals player was coming too close to the ball, and she ended up doing just that. It's always dangerous when you run at the free kick taker, because you know you have to be at least 10 yards behind the line where the kick is taken. So a dangerous play may come back to haunt him. Corbett-Fenical takes the kick this time, and her kick was not nearly as accurate as Mangione. A lot more firepower behind it. I guess that's something nice. Mangione was pretty close on her goal-scoring opportunity.
So, though, they're lucky that second chance didn't come back to hurt them. Off a mental error, no less.
Yeah, it's a dangerous play to make when you're going at the free kick taker there. You run the risk of having what happened happen, giving the other team another opportunity at the free kick, but you also run the risk of eating one of those balls that right in the face. And Lindsay Webb continues to eat goals up, as she now has 2 goals in this game. And that has reached us to the point we're at right now, as the score is 7-0 in favor of the Knights. The Bubba beating continues.
Yeah, it's been a great showing so far for Essex's Moran, Webb, and Mangione all have goals. Catonsville's not doing a whole lot, and they haven't done a lot since the game started.
Balanced scoring for the Knights for sure this afternoon. Makes for a happy head coach.
And part of a healthy offense.
That Knights goal was scored by number 22, Lindsay Webb. Under 10 minutes left to play. That could be the final goal of the afternoon, or it could maybe not. They had 4 goals in the first half. Maybe they want to get 4 in the second half as well.
Yeah, we could see more. As long as there's still time on the clock, we might see more goals, my friend.
Anything is possible here this afternoon, that's for sure. Speaking of that, Erin Moran trying to do the impossible there. Trying to flick that ball up into the offensive zone over the head of the defender who was in front of her. Right idea, just not successful in the attempt. Kenzie Smythe wasn't successful with that pass attempt. Or was she? As it did end up finding Erin Moran. She almost had an opportunity at goal.
Yeah, she did. She definitely got close. And she had a teammate down there, too. I was looking for her to go and chase it and try to slide and kick that one in.
Is the play up the far sideline. Cross attempt, not a good one. Doesn't get up into the air, and Jeppy's easily able to come off the line, make the save there. 8 minutes and 30 seconds. That's all that separates these two teams from the end of the whistle. I'm sure the Cardinals would hope that 8 minutes would go a little bit faster.
They gotta turn that chew clock on at this point.
lights are on here at the Coliseum. It's a lovely afternoon now, turning into evening for soccer. Remember, this is only game one of our doubleheader. These two teams' programs, men's teams, will go head-to-head after that, and it should be a very exciting contest. Rivalry week here, so almost you could say, as the Cardinals of CCBC come in here to face the Knights of CCBC.
Yeah, it's always a fun time seeing the two CCBC programs square off against each other. Like you said, it makes for a chippier, more interesting game.
Wow, that was absolute perfection there. Doesn't get much prettier than that. And look at the no-sell there by Alexis Corwin-Fenical. Part of that is the old Tom Landry school of thought, act like you've been there before, and part of that is her realizing, she's up 8-0. Alexis Corwin-Fenical, the goal there, finds the crossbar and got the healthy bounce from her friendly neighborhood post there, and another goal from Alexis Corwin-Fenical. 8 goals in the game for the Knights.
So it's 4 in each half so far for Essex. This is unbelievable offense.
Yikes. Not looking good if you are a Cardinals fan, player, or coach. I said it earlier, but it's going to be a long bus ride back to Catonsville. But that being said, every loss and every defeat is an opportunity to learn. Definitely lots of things to learn from for the Cardinals here this afternoon. One thing is for sure, one thing they absolutely need to take away from this game is they cannot afford to keep turning the ball at the midfield line, and they can't afford to keep turning the ball over in their defensive zone.
Yeah, that's one. Those are two good takeaways there, Aaron. I agree with you. Another thing, in my opinion, is just ball control. Just taking care of the ball in general. That might be exactly what you were saying, but I think it also comes down to when you have the ball, just being smart with your passes and just with your first touches in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball control, really, outside of baseball, it's really the key in any team sport is who can control the time of possession, who can control the offensive momentum, and who can keep the other team on defense the longest.
Yep.
Cardinals have spent pretty much this entire game on defense.
I was just going to say, and for Catonsville, that's been their downfall today, has been the lack of ball control for them.
Here's Moran with the flick back to Hapsis. Hapsis, she plays it back to Passanelli, and Passanelli, I think she forgot what sport she was playing. Passanelli, the look of frustration on her face says it all. That's one that may keep her up at night later on here this evening. Heart goes out to that young lady. As back in my playing days, I had plenty of shots like that. Just over 5 minutes left to play here this afternoon, and the nightmare soccer game is almost about to come to an end for the Cardinals. Free kick being awarded to the Knights here about 15 yards out from the box. So still in goal scoring range, but it's going to be a long shot, and it'd have to be a really good one to find the back of the net here.
I'll say from what we've seen so far, I wouldn't doubt seeing one go in from that distance.
Mangione didn't have much confidence in her opportunity, though. She decided to go with the short pass to Hapsis, and now Alexis Corwin-Fenical has it, and she's thinking about goal. And almost got one there. A good cross was too close to the line, and Jeppy, the goalkeeper for the Cardinals, came off of her line to make the save, but she initially couldn't catch it. Luckily for her, no one was around to get the rebound shot, and she was able to finally fully make the save. Cardinals offensive possession, once again, not a very good one. One red jersey surrounded by 4 white jerseys. White jersey was the last one to touch it that time, as the Cardinals have a throw-in. Just over 4 minutes left.
Yeah, that's something we've seen a lot of here in the second half. One Cardinal going down when they do get the ball in the offensive zone. One Cardinal down there and not a lot of help for her.
It's a good play by Hapsis, getting past a couple defenders. He's got one more to get past, can't, and has that ball stolen away. And here come the Cardinals trying to get some offensive momentum, and an absolute picture-perfect slide tackle there from Mia Mangione. She is really the pit bull of this team. Anytime a dirty play needs to be made, she's the one there to make it.
And you love seeing that kind of defense, that pesky, hard-nosed defense from anybody. And for Mangione, we've seen her do some great things today. Add that to the list.
Long pass. Oh, eaten up by the stomach and midsection of the Cardinals players. That's one of those ones that'll take the win right out of you. Seems to be all right. Tough player, watches a lot of hockey. Here's Alexis Corbett-Fenical right in front of the midfield line. 3 minutes are left here in this game, and the game clock just turned off. I don't know if we just had a technical difficulty or the ref was saying that scoreboard wasn't correct or what, but the time is officially, I don't know.
We have no time left.
We're not sure. Scoreboard has went black. Went blank. Excuse me. What we can guarantee you is that the score is still 5-0, or excuse me, still 8-0. It was 5-0 like 20 minutes ago. The score is still 8-0, and we are very close to the end of the game because before the shot clock went out, we knew that there was 3 minutes left.
Speaking of, lights are on, scoreboard's back. We're back in business.
It's back. A little trickery. We are into October, so
yeah, getting
Halloween's right around us.
Yeah, getting pretty spooky over here at Essex this evening.
Speaking of spooky, Francesca Gray, the goalkeeper for the Knights, got spooked there a minute. I think she thought she was about to give up her first goal. Opportunity at goal scoring there for the Cardinals was just wide of the net.
Yeah, she's had 2 shutouts on the season so far, and she's well on her way to her third. Got 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go here in the game.
Here's the ball on the outside corner. Good play there by Passanelli. Put a foot on that, got it up in front of her, and now she's playing it up. There's Moran trying to turn the Jets on. She gets in front of it. Left foot, no good. Now she's working it over to the right. And good recovery defense there by the Cardinals forces her to pass it back, and nothing could get materialized that time, but that's certainly not going to come back to haunt them. 1 minute and 30 seconds, 8-goal lead. I think it's pretty much over.
Yeah, time to warm up the bus a little bit and park it on defense if you're Essex.
Yeah, the fat lady hasn't started singing, but she is directly behind me starting to warm up the pipes, that's for sure. Good clear attempt there by the Cardinals, just allowing their midfielders and defensive line to get back into position. And now with just a minute left in the game, they just want to hold off and not allow any more goals. Mangione's got a different idea. Good play into the box. She was trying to find a teammate who was coming into goal scoring range and maybe get ahead on that. Just missed opportunity.
Yeah, that was a really nice thought there by Mangione trying to get, and she almost got it over the defender too.
And now we are under the 1 minute mark. 35 seconds is all that separates us from the 000 mark. Once again, before we get out of here, I want to say thank you to the Mars Estates Elementary School kids who are here this afternoon cheering on the Knights players. We certainly appreciate their support and hope they support us all season long on what's been a very exciting season so far and will only continue to be exciting.
And after this game, the success is going to continue for the Knights as they're going to move to 8-2-1 on the season and still stay undefeated in the conference at 4-0 in the conference. They'll also improve to 4-1-1 at home this season.
All right, there you heard it. The clock has hit 000, and that is all she wrote. The final score in this one, CCBC Essex Knights 8, CCBC Catonsville Cardinals 0. Stick around for these two programs' men's teams will go head-to-head after a short break. Any closing thoughts, Byron?
It was a game for both teams. A fantastic game for Essex, a not-so-good one for Catonsville. I'm hoping that the next game will have just as much excitement and goal scoring possibly from both sides. That'd be great.
All right, for Aaron Thomas and Byron Reed, we'll see you after this short break.